Good morning. We're here on Eagle Island out at Bingham, and this is part 2 of the activation out here. But before we get started with that activation, I would like to show you some things that I've found while wandering around the island at 5:30 in the morning with my handy dandy. This is a handy dandy. It's got light, but this morning I was walking around. I was picking up some garbage and such, and I ran across something very interesting. And we're going to switch over to the the rear-facing camera to show you some of the primitive things that we found on this island. So if you look right here, I believe that this may have been some currency from some of the previous inhabitants. Very unique, some newer than others. It's an unsubstantiated claim, but I think some of these metals date back to the creation of Earth. So they could be pretty old. But in other news, I think the stick method and the multiple windings around the picnic table held our antenna squarely in the air. And you will have to go look at the other activation video. You can see it runs up into the tree. I'm pointing the flashlight at it in case you need to see it a little bit better. But I've got a 63-foot random, no, it's not random at all. 63-foot end-fed half wave, which is pretty much tuned for 40 meters. And camp is over here. That was where I pseudo-slept last night. It was not hot per se, but if you look real closely, there's a wire that runs right there, 63 feet. It's probably about 40 feet in the air, I imagine. It might even be 60, I don't know. I don't have my protractor with me to measure the angle of the antenna, but I've got it run over here to another oak tree. And that is it's a F240 toroid. And then I had to fix this. There's a video on the, oh, you can tell my screen's dirty. Everything's nasty. So I guess I just won't get close to the front of the screen so the picture will be clear. But I had to fix this antenna. All of the parts that you see right here that are just like glowing in the grease of the morning, they just fell out. Everything just dropped in. So I had to fix it. There is a video, and I'll link it. Maybe I'll link it right here. Maybe right here. We'll see. I don't know. It might be on the other side. But I did have to fix it. You can see the guts of it in that video if you want to check it out. It's a really easy antenna build. But here's another view of the island. If you didn't watch that video, there's a privy over there. It's an open air privy. You can shut the door, but there's no privacy. The whole right wall is kind of missing on it. But if you did watch the other video, I had mentioned that there was a trail over here. So it's only 6:15, I think, right now. So there's a few minutes before America, wakes up. There's people stirring on the East Coast for sure, and then those poor souls that have to work all night are probably going to be headed home soon. But this trail, I mentioned that it looked like it was just a water runoff, but after exploring this morning, I realized this is more than just a water runoff. There's something pretty cool down here. I'm telling you, Mr. Miyagi would be really proud of what I discovered this morning on this short little trail. Ay, caramba. That was me tripping on a root because I'm not looking where I'm going. Okay, so we come around the bend here. This is a little smelly this morning, but hey, we can see the sunrise this morning. the sunrise. So I'm gonna turn my flashlight off now and just let you take a look at this blurry. I mean, I've tried to clean my camera on my phone, but there's not much I can do because my shirt is so yucky. But let's see if we can clear this picture up a little bit. Yeah, this is totally not how you make a YouTube video, by the way. So you can learn from this. But I'm gonna try to get some of the dew and junk off of my phone. Yeah, now you can see it in 4K. But you can see maybe the water's running, but Mr. Miyagi would be proud of this. The fact that I have any core strength to get on this is impressive, because I think normally this probably rests on the ground, because if you pull it closer and get it close to these trees, it does, this corner right here does sit right on the roots. But once you step off of this corner, getting off of the center of this thing really makes it wobbly. But I'm gonna get you a pretty good look from this end of the Reed Bingham and Eagle Island, what you can see from Eagle Island. So here I am stepping into the middle, and things are leveling out. Okay, so this is what Reed Bingham looks like from Eagle Island. When you're on this little dock, I mean, look at the little baby steps I'm having to take. I mean, this thing, there's no swimming allowed here, but this thing is pretty daggum wobbly. If it had been a couple inches wider, maybe it would, you know, would have been a little better. But I'm gonna lean down here and just kind of show you. This is Reed Bingham. This is the lake. It's fed by the Little River, and that's pretty much what's coming in down this way, is water from the Little River. It is very high. It is moving quite well. There is a lot of water right now. We had a huge amount of rain in the last week. So the other side of the dam, if you'll look at the other video that I posted before this one, this is part 2. And I'm just kind of giving you a tour of Eagle Island. And Eagle Island is a legit island in the middle of this lake. But the sun's coming up. It's looking beautiful out there this morning. And we're gonna go play radio for a little bit longer before we go home this morning. But Mr. Miyagi would be proud of this little dock. Because if you did some ninja junk on here, man, and you didn't fall in the water, you're ready for prime time. But the thing that killed me the most about this is it's only a 5,000-pound ratchet strap that keeps this thing from floating away. It's with that sun to our backs, it looks really nice over here. But this is what it looks like when you hit Eagle Island. And it's funny because that is singular, registered guest only. Well, that's me, 'cause I'm the only one on this island right now. But yep, ratchet strap. And the other part of the ratchet strap, the wood's rotten, so it just, I mean, that's it. 1.5 inch eye bolt holding that in there. There's the other one. But, you know, safety first. So I reckon that's a good way if you come in on a boat and you want to have something firm to plan on instead of throwing your stuff over the front of the boat. That'd be the way to go. I'm interested in this right here, though. We may have found some more ancient currency. let's wash it in the natural waters here. This is familiar currency. What's crazy is I think some of the sizes match what we found on the table. Let's head back and let's compare. We have transported back. I promise you that none of this is planted. I really just saw that glowing in the water. But it's very close to the ancient change that we found up here. So if we put this on top of the quarter, man, look at that. So they must have had some currency even smaller than that. But hey, I'm 26 cents reacher. We're gonna start calling this Treasure Island. But I did walk around. I did pick up quite a bit of garbage this morning. Lots of chip bags that I guess probably, since I don't want to blame a human for it, I'm sure they just blew out of this garbage during the storm. I don't know when the last time they emptied the garbage, but you know. Oh, and by the way, I also think that somebody left their ride. Maybe that was the inhabitant that was last here. But this is Eagle Island. They say you can have up to 50 people here. I believe it. I did not realize that there was so much surface area here. So troops of scouts and stuff probably could camp out here if you wanted to ferry them 2x2 on a little paddle boat. But man, I think I have the perfect operating spot over here. So hey, without further ado, let's get on the radio and let's make some CW contacts this morning on 40 meters before we go home. Let's get some of the yokel locals. Yahoo, yo! All right, so we're gonna enter the tent. Well, good morning. We are on 40 meters, and this is the teeny tiny straight key, and it matches my mouse too. So I have called to see if the frequency is in use. I have not heard anything back yet. So I'm gonna go to the Parks on the Air website. That is POTA.app. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this party started this morning. Now, I gave you a tour of the island, and I mean, I'm just making crap up. Finding the change in the middle of, or right there at the edge of the water was total happenstance. But great that it worked out. I hope that you enjoy the candor, trying to sign in, the candor of just being me on the island. I would say that I slept pretty good, considering that it actually kind of got a little chilly to me last night. And so instead of sleeping on top of the blanket nice and folded up, I actually had to get like kind of in the blanket like a burrito. I was a little chilly. So it is moist, for lack of a better word. It is extremely moist out here. US 2195. US 2195. And we're starting the morning off here at 6:41 local time with some CW. Now I am going to use, I probably should slow that down a little bit. Oh well, let's just use it. No takers yet, but my key is migrating. This is WI5D, Missouri. This is Joe, N3XLS. .559 both ways. Golly. JVB. Now we gotta wait for this mess to stop. 7-9. This guy's got me on all kinds of keys these days. David. This dang key's jumping around everywhere. Golly. 20 plus. Florida. Oh, Dan, some of that DUPE action. I guess he forgot he worked me last night. He said wolf. I'm gonna tell him too. That's an interesting sound. PPMAN. Got him. He said PPMAN. Man, I almost had that tight before he finished. Oh, he's 599 now. Hey, Bob. We'll get Mike next. He's plus. Uh-oh. Candy-day-dee. Now he's coming back up. Oh, and for bun. He must have city noise. Uh-oh, my key's getting out. Signals all over the place. MZ. so. Struggling. I don't know why I started giving him 5.9, 5.59. I don't know why staring at the screen makes it sound louder. Craig! Plus 20. Yep, gave him about right. Five, 8, 9. Florida. Is it? think it's KX3X. The noise is bad on 40 now. I cannot hear that first letter. It's something X3X. Dang, I tried. Maybe they'll come back later. Gotcha. Georgia. Got him. It is an X3X. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go QRT because I'm getting glass arm. It's just from tapping this tiny little key and getting kind of just heavy with it. I noticed that the key has slightly shifted. It's probably when I built it. It needs to be over this way, just a smidgen, just a smidgen. That's what was causing some of the initial blips, is because the contact was shifted slightly this way. So I shifted it slightly back this way to line that contact back up. So, hey, this was a pretty good test. And I do have to return home here soon. I've got, I'm gonna have to take a nap today. So, now I know I marked myself QRT. QRT. Beep. I hope I didn't QRT somebody else by accident. So, KN4DY was a park to park. That's pretty cool. He's at Sweetwater Creek. So that was a neat contact. And I guess everybody else is on 20 meters, so I'm not really going to hear them because they're in Florida and I'm in Georgia. But we finished out the weekend with 147 contacts with only about 2 hours of playtime. We did pretty good this morning. We made from 125 to 148. So we made about 22 contacts, maybe even 23. Dan was a dupe from last night. He did legit get me on the QRPP Pixie 2. And that's part of the first part of this activation. And this is the second part. And now on this one, you get to watch me break down camp and put all my stuff away. You won't get to see me put the stuff away, but you'll get to see the tent come down in time lapse, or not time, is it time? Yeah, time lapse. But I just came out this weekend. It's a summer. It was my, I'm a teacher, so tonight was the first summer night that I had where I didn't have to be at work today. And so summer is the time to go out and play. Now, normally I'd go out and play and the rest of the family would be with me, but I'm on this island, Eagle Island, and the rest of the family's not too keen on sleeping under the stars, so to speak. So we've collected a lot of dragonflies in here. And I used the Red Odeo 100 amp hour battery, and I bet that I barely crossed the 10 amp hour mark. So if we let this cycle around, I'll tell you exactly, we used 13.84 amp hours. And now part of that was to charge the laptop. I've got the POTA top right here. It's just the Evolve 3. My friend Eddie and I, KO4NLL, and I went in. We got one each. His has the a spot for an extra hard drive because I think he's got the 4G, 5G card in it, which could be taken out supposedly, and you could put another hard drive in it, or even for that matter, put a hard drive in it. This has the system on a chip, so it's just built in. So when that dies, this dies. So with that, I usually keep this thing connected to my hotspot. And when I go to create a backup in N3FJP, if I have access to the internet, I will go to my Google Drive and go to my folder that's called log transfers, and I will do a backup to Google Drive. Now, the other thing that I will do is when I'm done, I will also export the whole log as a ADIF and also save that in the log transfers, not the temp folder, but the log transfers in my Google Drive, so that when I get home, it's really easy just to transfer it to Parks on the Air. Now, I could do that straight from here, but I do like to give my log a minute to kind of cool off before sending it to the cloud, so to speak. And so we're gonna hit save, and we're gonna hit continue, and okay. So we have saved it. We can shut down the laptop. I've played radio. I've got 2 videos out of it for 2 weeks. I hope you guys have enjoyed the fun that I've had, and I hope that I've brought you into my realm of goofiness. And so I'm gonna pack up. It's gonna take a minute to organize all my radio stuff because I pretty much just dumped it out last night, and it do be like that sometimes. But I've had a great time out here. This island is pretty cool place to be, and we got to play with different rigs. We just got to play around. I mean, finding the ancient change and then the more current change right at the edge of the waters. That was pretty cool. That was a highlight of my pre-7 o'clock morning for sure. And 40 meters is a mess. I don't know if it's because of the sun. 40 meters was just super rackety this morning. Even on CW, it was having crashes. Could be the storms. There could be the storms. There are some storms passing through the Midwest, I guess, right now in the west of central, around Texas. I think they had some really horrific tornadoes last night. So there's probably some thunderstorms again headed this way, which is what we just had last week with some severe weather. And that's why the little river is as high as it is because of all the rainwater and runoff that has hit the little river and is exiting in that direction. So I just want to go home and get a shower and take a nap, for real. It's summer, and I'm going to enjoy my summer, and this is how we roll. So next week I will be, and of course, you know, we're talking next week as in like I'm sitting here right now talking to myself, but I'm going to Dothan, Alabama for a week, and so I'm hoping that I'll get some time to hit up a few parks around the Dothan area. I don't get to go there very often, but I'm going there because my son's going to have a procedure done, my 8-year-old, and that's going to be 2 days, 8 hours. So hopefully I'll be able to get away. And you know, radio and just going out is a therapy of sorts. You know, you go out and you take care of yourself, and so I'm taking care of my mental stability by just getting away, listen to the frogs at night. If you you probably didn't see it on YouTube. If you go to my TikTok or my Instagram, or if you're friends with me on Facebook, of course, you probably saw that because I posted twice, once from TikTok and once from Instagram. But just the sound of the frogs last night. There were frogs that were singing bass over on the west side, more southwest side. On the northeast side, they were more tenor and soprano singing over there. You had folks running off of the interstate, yeah, right, the highway, which is, you know, a couple miles away from here, but you know, that road sucks. It's Highway 37. They've got those bumps on, they're on the white freaking line almost, and so you don't get to use the whole freaking lane, and it's all the time I'm having to hear that racket. But yeah, I heard quite a bit of it from some of the big rigs that were running through it last night and this morning. And so it's funny, you can hear it when it's really quiet. Once the people come out, it's a Saturday out here. Once they, no, it's not. Here I go thinking that last night was Friday night. It is Thursday morning, y'all. Summer life. Don't know what day it is, but if there were boats out here and jet skiers jet skiing and people playing and hiking, and not that the hikers are noisy, but you don't hear as much of the wildlife unless you do go onto the hiking paths and get away from society. And so at any rate, this is camp life. The only time that I'm ever in a tent is when I'm by myself. So let's give you a little tour of this place. If you will look around this way, I'm in a legit mansion of a tent. It is huge up in this joint. But there's the straight key that I was using, matches the pink mouse. Pink and purple are some of my favorite colors. And I actually found I found $10 last night too. I forgot to mention, I found a nice $10 bill after I forgot my coax, and I was digging in my pockets looking for my keys. This $10 bill fell out of my pocket, so hey, I'm rich. Not really, but you can see that it doesn't have any crisp to it. That's how moist it is. So we'll go put that with that money over there. And there's the throw bag that we used last night. It's a 12-ounce Weaver, and that's the arborist line that I also have. So we're gonna chunk that over there, and we'll put that in the bag later. And then if you look at the phone, we got a wormhole. Wee-hoo. Okay, so I'm gonna end it on that note. Hey, thank you so much to the subscribers. Thank you to the new people that watched the video. And if you legit made it to the 50 some odd minute mark to see the end where I use my coined phrase and then that little bent at the end of it before the credits roll, y'all, I put Easter eggs like a mug up in here sometimes, and sometimes they show up in the same place, and sometimes it's just me being goofy. But stuff happens, you know. Watch the background sometimes in some of my older videos. But I do appreciate the returning viewers that come back. You know, you guys make this all worth it. Since you can't be along here with me and play in person, I'm bringing you along with my GoPro or my camera on my phone so that you can see what I look like from this direction too, and see the back. No, it doesn't work that way. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. And I am Robbie, or Rob, or Bob, or Old Man, depending on what mode you get me. And I wish you all the best. Well, I reckon it's time to pack it up. I kept the rig out just in case somebody else wanted me to park them before leaving the island of treasure. So this is a time lapse of me putting the tent up, but man, I did a pretty good job. It's time to disembark. Well, I really drove that up there, didn't I? All right, here comes the magic kick. Wasn't really magic, was it? we were last night, this morning, standing on the dock. This is Eagle Island. Figured I'd take a pass around the north side of the island. You're getting to see it, and overlaid with the other video from the GoPro, if it turns out. It's probably just pointing at the sky up there. There's all my gear. Pack in, pack out. I think I left the place cleaner than it was when I got there. And just around that bend of that other little island is where I'm gonna go park. Go get the boat ramp ready. I'm just putting along, I'm in no hurry. Yep, you can see it right back in there. There's the dock to the other island. And there's the dock right at the boat ramp. And it's a booger to get back in there because the weeds under the water grow to the top of the water all the way through. So you have to start, stop, start, go backwards, start, stop, start, go backwards to clean your prop off. Alrighty, so this is the conclusion of the Eagle Island activation. There it is. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've plenty more to come as summer goes along. We'll find some kind of project to get into, or some parks on the air, or just general amateur radio. So we're gonna sneak through this little path right here and make our way back home. Oh, another ride. Look at that. It's one of those economy rides right there. Another nice little nudge off. Having a freaking paddle to get out of here. doogly. Now we'll take that. Slide that back there. Now, I gotta get out of here without getting wet. There's two ways I can do it. That's the way we'll do it. Well, you might as well stick around. If you've made it this far, you have found an Easter egg. It's just me talking, but I'm going to tell you that as I pull the boat forward, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it in place, walk around it, probably talk to some random dude that pulls up, and then I'm going to give a shout out to the last 90 subscribers to my channel. So if you want to be shouted out in a video, subscribe to W1RCP, Amateur Radio, Parks on the Air, and Projects. So without further ado, since January 11th, I started keeping track of the last subscribers. I think a little tug ought to fix that. So enjoy the ride. Yep. Oh, and in case you can't read, enjoy the ride home while I give a shout out to the last 90 new subscribers to the channel. Seriously though, here it comes, and I'm gonna drive fast. Well, that was an inadvertent trip home, wasn't it? Hope you enjoyed it.
GoPro, stop capture.